it's Jessie V. What's up? I am wearing some really dark lipstick today. I just find when it starts to kind of go into fall, like September, October, I'm always just wearing dark lipstick. And it's weird because I am so pale, so I just feel like a vampire. I'm radiating sparkles. Edward taught me well. It's just like with dark lipstick, it looks nice when you close your mouth, but then if you open it, you see the pink, you know, like the pink part, like your gum. It's so much, there's so much contrast going on. So you're gonna be seeing dark and pink this whole entire video, I'm telling you. But anyways, today's V-Time is about the time a burglar broke into my friend's house during a sleepover party. It was the only time in my life that I had ever experienced something like that. And it actually still freaks me out to think about it. So of course I decided to make a V-Time out of it because my crazy life is your entertainment. You're welcome. So this story takes place when I was in grade 4. A girl in my class who I was somewhat friends with invited everyone in the class to her sleepover party. It was back in the days when you had to invite every single student in the class to your party because you didn't want anyone to feel left out. Or at least that's like how it was for me when I was young. The same thing went for Valentine's Day cards. You had to make one for everybody in the class, even if you didn't like them very much. I remember writing these long cards with like stickers and sparkles all over them. And when it came time for me to write the boys' cards, I just took like a scrap piece of paper and wrote Happy Valentine's Day on it. I'd go up to them and be like, here's your Valentine's Day card. This doesn't mean that I like you, just take it and go. That was an unintentional Russell Peters quote. But anyways, back when I was in grade 4, I was a really shy kid, as a lot of you may remember, because I did a video about my childhood a little while ago. So being invited to a birthday party was always a really intimidating thing for me. And the fact that it was a sleepover just made me even more nervous. I found nothing exciting about being in a room with 47 boys and girls wrapped up in sleeping bags throwing popcorn everywhere. That was probably a run-on sentence. It just sounded like a nightmare more than a fun-filled experience. But my friends and my family kept telling me that I really should go because I never got out of the house. My bedroom was my safe place. If it were up to me, I would just stay there forever, wrapped up in blankets feeding my Neopets. I was just beyond scared because this party I was about to go to was only the second sleepover I had ever been to in my entire life. Yes, I was very inexperienced in sleepovers when I was in grade 4. In fact, the very first sleepover that I had ever been to was in grade 2. I had gone to my best friend's house who had only lived like 2 minutes from me. In the middle of the night, my friend was fast asleep beside me, just snoring. I was just lying there, my eyes wide open, looking around her room like, I don't want to be here right now. Let me out of this place. I will not die here. I called my mom crying and just begged her to pick me up. It was an embarrassing experience. I had to go into my friend's mom's room, and this was like 2 a.m. and I had to wake her up and basically tell her that my mom was coming to pick me up at this hour of the night because I could not stand sleeping in her house. Awkward conversation. Very awkward. But I was just a little kid, so she forgave me. What was she gonna say, you know? No, you must stay in my house. Your mom can't pick you up. I think I just damaged my vocal cords there. So let's get back to the story, shall we? The day of this girl's sleepover party, my dad dropped me off at her house. I showed up a little late because I did not want to be like the first one there, and my dad and I walk into this house, and there are girls running around everywhere, screaming and squealing and hitting each other with pillows. It was a nightmare. I couldn't even hear my dad saying goodbye to me because of all the loud laughing and squealing going on. Can I not depart from my father in peace? And what made it worse was that the birthday girl walked right up to me and squeezed my cheeks. This girl, who was the same age as me, always greeted me by squeezing my cheeks. She would be like, oh my god, you're so cute. This one time at school, she squeezed my cheeks so hard that I went home to my mom that night and she asked me why I was wearing makeup. I was like, Mom, this isn't blush. This was the doing of an evil child. And honestly, she never meant to like harm me. She was a really sweet girl. She was just unintentionally dangerous. So my dad says goodbye, he leaves the house, and the madness begins. All the girls wanted to do a million things at once. They put the Spice Girls movie on. They started painting each other's nails. They made 14 bags of popcorn. They played MASH on sheets of paper. They sat in circles talking about their crushes. And I was just trying my best to go along with everything, but I was silently dying inside. And then the boys were in the basement playing like air hockey or whatnot. We were at that age age where it was okay to have boys and girls at a sleepover party. We were just so young that it didn't really matter. But the boys still had their own separate room to sleep in, and the girls had their own room, so it's not like we were sleeping in the same area. I remember one of the girls thought it would be so funny to open the door for the pizza man wearing this massive tutu, a paper crown with bananas sticking out of it. All the girls found it hilarious, and I was just like, I am surrounded by idiots. You guys probably think I was just this huge bore when I was a kid. And honestly, I was just socially awkward. So let me get into the break-in part. Definitely the scariest part of that day, or I guess I should say night. There is a huge ladybug on my window right now. Are you trying to break in? Are you trying to copy my story? Oh, he flew away. Did I say he flew away? What is grammar? What is grammar? He flew away at the sight of my face. So rude. So we all get into our pajamas and set up our sleeping bags. Everyone seemed to argue about who slept beside who. I really didn't care where I slept. I just wanted to sleep and get it over with and leave the next day. And as most sleepovers go, the girls stayed up for hours and hours just talking. And the guys were watching zombie movies down in the basement. Side note, whenever I watch a horror movie, I always get really freaked out and think it could actually happen to us. I'll finish the movie and I'll like cough or sneeze and I'll be like, I've caught the infection. I'm transforming. I'll be dead within the hour. I'll come back as a walking bag of dead flesh. I know zombies eat people, but I feel like if I was a zombie, I would just go for the pizza. Like while everybody else is busy snacking on brains and thigh flesh, I'll be raiding all the Pizza Huts. Thick crust, cheesy pepperoni pizza. Oh yeah. So in the early hours of the morning, half the girls are sleeping, half the girls are still up talking about how hot Zac Efron is. We are all on the main floor of the house, and I am closest to the door with two other girls sleeping beside me. The doorknob starts to jiggle, and of course the girls beside me, we all just like gasp and sit up. We wake the other girls up and tell them to look over at the door. Some of them think we're just joking and trying to scare them, so they start talking about like ghosts and stuff. But then it happens again, and it's louder. We all like jump and freak out this time. Then we see this figure walk in front of one of the windows by the door, and we can see their silhouette behind the curtains. Whoever it was trying to get a look inside to see if anybody was home. Which, I mean, buddy, there's fully cars in the driveway. You know that creepy DVD cover from The Uninvited? You know how they're like looking in? That's what this person was doing against the window. We all lose our jelly beans and run upstairs to this girl's parents' room. Her dad gets up immediately, grabs a bat from under the bed, and stands at the top of the stairs looking down at the door. We were all like huddled behind him. He was our shield. I could tell he wasn't sure if he should believe us or not. But then we heard this really loud bang on one of the windows downstairs, and it was followed by another bang which actually shattered a portion of the window. The alarm goes off, and this dad just dashes down the stairs, opens the front door, and chases this guy down the street. He was like flailing his bat in the air, swearing at this guy. It was a sight for sure. The mother tells us to be quiet and go into her room and just sit down. The police were called, and of course all of the kids who were over, their parents had to be called as well. Let's just say that my second sleepover turned out to be even worse than the first one, because a guy was breaking into the house. Turns out this guy had some sort of mental issues and had a record of breaking into houses. Scary stuff. Think about that next time you go to a sleepover. You're welcome. Anyways, I thought I'd just tell you, sorry, I got hair in my mouth. I thought I would just tell you that story. I actually didn't think of it until 2 nights ago when I was about to go to bed. I just remembered what happened to me in grade 4, and I'm like, that would be the best V time ever. Well, not the best V time, but a good V time. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night. My social media information is in the description along with my vlog channel and the tickets to my Toronto meet and greet, so check it out. And until next time, guys, bye.